Okay, this is the end of chapter 10 and chapter 11. Pat Reed stared at them, the anger rising in her face like water filling a glass. She clapped her palm on the table. You will all go, with no rude remarks or complaints. All of you. If we can't go to church together, her voice grew shriller with each word. Andrew Reed shot a warning glance at his children, then spoke calmly. All right, Pat, of course we'll go. Apologize to your mother at once, children. There was a mumble chorus of sorries. Everyone's breath was stilled while they waited to see if Pat Reed's outburst would subside. Her voice became steadier. Very well, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Right after they got back from the church service the next morning, the watch ran out. Ruth was again sitting on the main beach with Ginny, reading to her from a book called Just Mary. Patricia found herself back in the present right in the middle of a sentence. Then she lay on the bed in La Petite for a long time. She was worn out. It was too much, darting back and forth in time. This trip had been such a long one. She didn't know if she could go through another extended period yet, even though she much preferred being there than here. She hid the watch and strolled out into the rain, blinking as she tried to become accustomed to being back. For the rest of the day she joined Kelly and the others, still grounded on the Veridina. They didn't seem to mind her being with them. Kelly even looked relieved that she returned, but Patricia wouldn't give in to her friendly overtures. For the first time, she felt superior to Kelly. Her cousin knew how to do a lot of the things Patricia didn't, but she didn't know Patricia's secret. Uncle Doug arrived for the weekend, and they had to listen to another lecture about the horses. At least it didn't last long. He wasn't as good at scolding as his wife. He brought Patricia a letter from her mother. It was her usual short account of current events, written with forced cheerfulness, all about her work and nothing about the separation. Patricia shuddered at the strangeness of reading a letter from Ruth at age 47 when she'd just been sitting beside her on the beach at age 12. The two Ruths were so different. What happened to turn the girl she liked so much into her mother? That evening Patricia had disturbing news. Your Nan's coming, dear, beamed Aunt Ginny. She phoned this afternoon. She's very excited. She hasn't seen you since you were 8. For a few seconds Patricia was indifferent. She wrote to her grandmother in Calgary twice a year, thanking her for her birthday and Christmas checks. She could hardly remember what she looked like. Then she put down the piece of watermelon she was eating and realized with shock that Aunt Ginny had said Nan was Pat Reed. The woman Patricia had been watching in the past was coming here, and Patricia had her watch. Surely Nan didn't know it had been under the floor in her cabin. She must have lost it long ago. Patricia didn't want to give it back. It felt like her watch now. She asked shakily, When is Nan coming? Around noon on Tuesday. Uncle Doug is taking the day off to drive her out. She'll stay in La Petite. You and Kelly can help me tidy it up. Don't forget I'm doing the floor tomorrow, Uncle Doug reminded her. Now Patricia was frantic. What if they found the watch under the mattress? She would have to look at a new hiding place. She finished her dessert with difficulty. She didn't want to meet her grandmother as she was now. The past and the present would get all mixed up. There's the short clip to conclude chapter 10, and come back to join us for chapter 11.